So, hey guys, welcome to our part 2 session of the low fidelity wireframing. Let me put my video on just so that we can familiarize ourselves. Yes, so hi guys, welcome to our second session of low fidelity wireframing. I'm sure you had the first one yesterday by Bethany, and then this is now the part 2. So in this session, we're going to do more of a bit of the theory and a bit of the practical. Okay, so I hope everyone is ready to do some drawings and all that. Yeah. So let me now display my you can see my screen now. Some few rules, not rules, but notes. I will take questions after we're done with the session, so not in between. So I want to go all in, all through, and then after the session, we'll take questions. So what you need to do is write down your questions, note them down, and then after the session, I'll start answering them. Sawa sawa. So before we start, I'd like to introduce myself. That's me. My name is Michael Kitikai, and it's pronounced as Kitikai. There's a time someone had a hard time pronouncing it, but it's Kitikai. I'm a UX designer. I live in Nairobi, Kenya. I've been doing design for the past 8 years now. And right now I'm working as a contractor slash consultant. So I work on project after project. I'm not employed. Okay. That's like saying I'm an independent candidate. And then I've worked on a fintech startup before, and I've also worked with another e-learning platform called Kitabu. And the fintech is called K-Smart. So on the side hustle, I have like a merchandise brand. It's called Nairobi. So if you go out there and check out nairobi.com, you'll see the merchandise. And my hobbies are I love arts, body arts, and when I'm not designing or when I'm not home, you might find me in some music events, festival. That's this photo here. This one here is just to show you, in case we bump into each other, uko nje, don't be shocked. Sawa sawa. And then my website is at kitikai.com, www.kitikai.com. That's my website and that's my portfolio. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all about me. I'm not that interesting. So let's jump now into our session. So today we're going to cover 4 things. 1, what is low fidelity? What is high fidelity? And what is prototype? So we're going to define them. Although this session is focused on low fidelity, we'll try to see what's the difference and where they're applied. And then applying the basics of drawing, we'll see that. And then building a paper prototype. And then finally developing digital wireframe. This last part is where we're going to do a quick wireframing. Sawa sawa. Hint, hint, if you use Whimsical, we're going to use it if you have an account. So if you want to follow along, that would be great. Okay. So first of all, before we start, let's get rid of all the buzzwords. Nasikia those. If you're new to UX design, if this is your first time, maybe this is the first time you're hearing about low fidelity, high fidelity, prototype, wireframe. So what are those? So the definition is a prototype. A prototype is an early sample model or release of a product built to test a concept or process. So that's according to Wikipedia. So in other words, a prototype is like the first draft of the concept you're trying, or the product you're trying to build. So it's like the first molding. Okay. But in this lesson, we are focusing on digital products. So prototype is not only digital, it can be a prototype of a phone, of a car, like the first draft. It's not the one that's released to the public. Ile yenye you work with your team to build. Okay. And then wireframes. Wireframe. What is a wireframe? A wireframe is a two-dimensional skeletal outline of a web page or app. Wireframes provide a clear overview of the page structure, layout, information architecture, user flow, functionality, and intended behavior. As a wireframe usually represent the initial product concept. Sorry, as a wireframe usually represents the initial product concept, styling, color, graphics, and graphics are kept at minimal. So a wireframe, on the other hand, is, like it said, it's a two-dimensional skeleton. It's an outline of what you're going to build. If it's an app, if it's a website, like it's a quick drawing of how things will be. It doesn't focus on the color, styling, and all that. We're going to look at some example later on. And then we have fidelity. So as I mentioned earlier, there's low fidelity and high fidelity. But what is fidelity? Okay, so fidelity means the degree of exactness something is designed, copied, or reproduced. Synonyms or similar words: accuracy, exactness, precision. Okay, so it basically means what you're building, again, like a prototype, is the first version. Okay, it's an idea of what you're building. Okay, it's not really it, but it's like an idea of what the final product will look like. It's like accuracy, exactness, precision of what the final product will look like. And we have two types of fidelity. We have low fidelity and high fidelity. Low fidelity, also known as lo-fi prototype, is a quick and easy tangible representation of a concept, user flow, and information or information structure created for getting quick feedback and improvement and improving the product. A sketch or wireframe with no attempt to look real. Not all functionalities need to be included. May show some task force. Okay, so it's like a roadmap of what you're creating. Okay, just a quick drawings and all that. And sorry, we'll be focusing more on this, so I'll show you examples. So don't worry if you're lost, hang in there. We're coming to examples. And then high fidelity, now prototype, is a computerized based interactive representation of the product in its closest resemblance to the final design in terms of detail and functionality. So a high fidelity basically means it's almost like 90% of what the final product will look like. So if you're building an app or a website, sorry, my voice, I think I need water. If you're building an app or a website, the high fidelity now looks almost how it will look in real life if it's coded. So if it's the colors, they're right, they match with your brand. The buttons are working. If it has animation, it will also show those animation, load them. It's pretty much like what the end user will get. Okay, so but we're not focusing on that today. So let's see some example. So this is a low fidelity prototype, like a paper wireframe. So this is, if you go to my website, there is a case study I did about KPLC, like redesigning their website. And this is where I began. So if you look closer, let me try to zoom in. Good. So unaona hapa hivi I've drawn like the loading screen, the login, the registration, main page, notification. There's another page here, and then there's like another page and another page, and then the setting. So this was me trying to get the idea out of my head. So what I did was like I did quick sketches of how the end product or what I have in mind, like I'm transferring what I have in mind to paper. Okay, so like it said here, with no attempt to look real. Obviously, this looks like a class 4 drawing or a class 1 drawing, and it's fine. My attempt was not to focus on the accuracy, but to make sure that the idea is out there. So yeah, so this is a low fidelity prototype. Okay, and then in between low fidelity and high fidelity, we have the mid fidelity. So this is now a bit refined, like it's a hybrid of the two. I'll come to that. But now you can see, like the information has some structure kidogo. You can see the loading screen or the load screen here. Here it is, and then there's the login wireframe, the register, the main page, how the content look like, the notification. Some of the pages I had made, they are refined here. Okay, so see the difference. This is a drawing, and then mid fidelity. So this was done with Adobe XD. Of course, you can see the accuracy. The lines are straight, the boxes, there's some alignment and all that. So this is mid fidelity. And in this case, this is what we're going to focus on. And then now the final product, like the high fidelity prototype. So this is what, if the app was to be coded, would look like. See the login screen. There's this dashboard where it shows you your available tokens, estimated days remaining, like a graph, transactions. There's this pop-up button, and then there is this calendar, like a schedule. So I want you to you see the idea. I don't know if you can see that. See like the login. It's here. It's here. And then the register. I didn't add the register, but if you go to my website, you'll see it. And then there is, you see this 19 token, like this box, a dashboard. Here it is, and then transaction and all that. And then there's this like schedule, like it's not also here, but you can see it here, like the calendar. Where is it? No, it's not here also. I think I didn't include it, but yeah, you get the idea. So we have three phases. There's the low fidelity, mid fidelity, and then there is the high fidelity. And we're going to see the importance of every one of them. So this is like a close-up of how I sketched up the app. So pros of low fidelity. Why should we use low fidelity? Why do we start with low fidelity prototypes? Why is it important? You know, it's easy as a designer. Kwanza mimi, I'm tempted so much to start with like the high fidelity, with the final product, with this. But there is a reason why we start with that. First, reason numero uno. First, it's fast and easy to design because less focus is put on aesthetic/design system, but on general idea concept. Okay, so if you look at this, good. If you look at this, the drawing here, I'm not really focused on how the boxes look like, how the icons will look like. I just need to put the idea out. Okay, so we are focusing less on aesthetic design. Okay, but we just need to put the general idea out. Okay, so that's why it's fast, because you can draw this. Can you imagine? I did this in like 2 minutes or 5 minutes. Unaona? So it doesn't take a lot of design skills. You don't even need to be a designer to draw such a thing. It's easy to iterate. You can make decisions. You can make design changes more easily during the test. Easy to iterate. Iterate means repeat. Okay, so in design, we UX design, we iterate. Like, let's say you design something and then you saw a flaw, or you saw it needs improvement, so you go back, you change your design. So if you're designing something that's going to be coded, you need to do all those tests and mistakes as early as possible. So that's why it's easy here, because with this idea here, if let's say I'm showing my product manager, I'm like, yo, so I have this concept, this will be the notification tab, this is how the menu will look like. He could easily spot something and says, oh, we don't need a notification, or we don't need them to look like this, or this is not the idea, I'll show you what we can do, and then I can go back and then quickly sketch. So it's easy for brainstorming, if you're having brainstorming session. And then fastest way to communicate an idea slash concept with stakeholders. Like I said, it's easy to share this because you can draw this in less than 10 minutes and share it with your team than to make this. This might take you a day, 2, or a week to come up with all this. But this one is less than a minute. You're already done with this one. Okay, and you can share it. And then first is you can prove a concept or kill the concept at this stage. That's saving time. Like I said, it's easy to approve a concept at this stage than this stage. Imagine you've designed all this and then you're told, actually, we didn't need this page. We didn't need all this. Unaona? So you've done zero work. But if you shared like the idea at this stage, it's easy to spot such mistakes or such errors, and thus you will save your time. And then very minimal design skill is required to design a low fidelity prototype. If you can draw a circle and a rectangle, you are good to go. Obviously, you don't need any design skills to design such a thing. No, no, you don't. Anyone can draw this. So it requires minimal effort. Hata kama you started UX design yesterday, I believe you can draw something like this. Unaona? So no one is going to judge you. And then finally, the best part, you don't have to write code. No. So you don't have to code this, something like this. And from this figure, you see it's reversed, but if you can see already, they're trying to even wire those screens. That's what the wireframing is. Like, okay, this screen, when you tap here, it goes to this one, and then when you tap here, it opens this screen, and then evo. And you can see this is like a collaborative project because there's someone else. And it's easier to communicate the idea here than designing it and then sharing it. Okay? I hope we are together there. All right. So I want us to look at an example of low fidelity testing. You've heard you can test here. You can test an idea. I don't know where that point is, but you can actually test a low fidelity prototype. So let's watch this video. Where is the volume?
Okay, so your task now is to open the My EE app.
So before we continue, so this company or these guys, they're testing, I think, a dashboard or something, and they've called out a user, and they're trying to see how the person navigates through their product, and they're giving them tasks. So the first task here is open an EE app. So let me continue.
Cool. Nice.
And now your task is to register and log in.
Okay.
So they're fake typing. Verified. Password verified.
Well done, you've completed the task. The next task is to remove the minutes tile from your home screen.
Okay. Oh. That one. Cool.
Well done. Your next task is to place the add £10 top up tile to your home screen.
Okay, cool. Nice. That's £10 top up. Icing on the screen. Back.
Well done. Your next task is to rearrange the tiles on your home screen as you see fit.
Okay. So let's. I use this all the time, so I want to move that. Can I move it to the top left? And then minutes allowance, mobile data. Yeah, probably. Can I change these around or not? Just these top ones. Okay. Oh, sorry. So changes. Cool.
Well done. You've completed the task.
Cool. So what you just saw there is a real life user testing with low fidelity. Okay, so they are trying to prove a concept by taking the idea to the user. Now ukiangalia hapa hivi, you see like they are logging in. Let me mute. They are logging in, you know. Even there's like a fake dashboard, not fake, but like a paper dashboard. Oh no. So that's how they test. They test low fidelity. Now I have a few tweets here I'd like to show you guys. I thought I'd show it. I thought I would show it. So where is it? Wait, I can't access my unpin. Sorry guys. There's something. Okay, cool. Can you see my screen? Okay. Where is this? Where is this? Guys, how do you, okay. Sorry, there's this bar that's here, that Hitoki, so I can't access my other tabs. but Mandela, if you're online, can you confirm to me if you can see my screen? Can you?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Good, good. So I wanted to show like a tweet somewhere here. Let me see if I can share it. Share, stop sharing. Now share entire screen. Good. So there's this tweet here, Ilinibamba. Look at that, and then did you see that? Like it's like you tap, and then this one went even a step ahead and animated the like button. So when you tap the like button, unaona, wow, unaona. So there's that. There's also another one. Let me see if it's the same one. So there's this one. Paper prototyping be like. Boom. Anyway, that is all. Hiyo ilikuwa icebreaker. So now let's look at the cons of using low fidelity. So we've seen the pros. You can test, you can confirm an idea at its early stage. So what are the cons? What are the disadvantage? So the first one is it's limited testing only in person. It's hard to test a paper prototype when participants are widely dispersed geographically. So let's say your headquarters, your offices are in Nairobi, and you guys are creating a product for people who are in Meru or are in Nanyuki or Mombasa. And you have the idea is on paper, so you have to travel all the way there to test it. Okay, so it might take time when you are traveling, and then it's unrealistic, unfortunately. No matter how skilled the art of craftsmanship, paper prototype will never be more than hand-drawn representation of a digital product. So while they are quick to draw, paper prototypes produce little or no results when testing with end user. So in as much as it's easy to test this and to draw it and to come up with this figure, this is not a realistic app. Unaona, it might be very hard to convince someone, or not even convince someone, to understand what exactly is happening here, what this box represents. Unaona, so it's limited to how much information you can give out. Okay, and it's not realistic. That's why we have high fidelity. And then if you're user testing with paper prototype, it might take time to prepare the material, e.g. cut them and all that. So you've seen here, like they've literally cut everything, the dashboard and different paper. So it might be time consuming to create all those two sketches, those two cutouts, and glue them and nini. All in all, it's a good way to test an idea. Sawa sawa. Sasa, this is a blank screen because I want us to do a real-time prototype, where low fidelity prototyping. And I'm going to use here, it's called Whimsical. So I've changed my tab. Can you guys see my other tab? I just need one person to confirm the Whimsical. Can you all see it?
Yes, I can see it.
Awesome. So this is Whimsical. It's actually my favorite prototype, not prototype, wireframing tool. Okay. This is not sponsored, okay, but I feel like it has everything you need for you to design. It has boards, wireframe project, wireframes. You have here pre-made screens. Okay, you have plain Windows, iPhone X, iPhone, Android tablets. You have some pre-made shapes and all that. Everything, unaona. what else? You have all those. You have icons, everything. So it's like a low fidelity Figma, or like a low fidelity Adobe XD. Okay, so I went and generated here a fake brief from here, fake client. So the fake client here, by the way, if you want to create your own fake briefs, go to fakeclients.com, and we generated here a brief. It says, "Hi, I am Lysandra. I'm looking for a UI designer. I would like you to create a design of a direct messaging app. We would love to work with you." Sawa sawa. So assuming that's what a client, or that's a message you've been given. Someone wants a direct messaging app. Sawa sawa. So remember, this is a fake design, a fake brief. So we're going to try to prototype it. So when you have such a client, you want to show them the idea you have in mind. So I went on earlier. I was trying to see what I can come up with, and I jotted some notes here, an inspiration of WhatsApp, because you see here they're saying create a design of a direct messaging app. Okay, so the first thing that came to my mind was something like WhatsApp, or the default text message app, the one you have, the one that you receive messages, and then a list of recent messages that could be handy, and then a button to create messages, and then you can go on with all the features you have in mind. Okay, maybe upload files, Evo, blah, 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 blah. So when you're brainstorming. But today we're just going to focus on these three things. Okay. So good, let's start. On the right, no, left tab. Yes, there's this tab here. And then there's a place where if you tap, you have all these templates of phones. So I'm going to choose Android because that's the standard one, and then we'll call this like the first screen. First screen. Okay, so again, tap here, come here, look for avatar. I'm going to add it there, and then like this will represent the user who has texted you. Okay, and then a fake message, something here, maybe they told you something. And then we can have a divider, a column to divide the text messages like there. And then what else? Like something to represent, to show that you can tap on that message. So this one. All right. So we have that. I like my colors to look minimal. So it looks like that. So this is like the first message, a preview of the message, and then like this arrow represent that you can tap on the message, and then a divider. And then group them. And then now let's see, let's multiply them, duplicate them, duplicate. Good. So in less than 2 minutes, we've made an idea of what like the contact list, the messages would look like. So this person, Aliku text, this is the preview of what they said, and then you can tap. Of course, in real time, it will show what the actual text messages. So, and then let's add a button to if they want to create a message. So we'll add a button, a plus button, something like this. Yes, so this one, if you want to create a new message, you tap here and you will go to a blank page where you can create a new message. So let's design that too. So unakuja hapa, put the second screen second, and then this one here, now we can have something like tooltip. Yeah, and then it will be like right side hanging. Let's type a fake message, the tooltip. Okay, so that's, we're assuming someone texted you, and then on the other side, wait, this is you texting, so this is the reply, and then akakwambia vitu zingine hapo, I don't know, you guys. So there's that, there's that, there's that. So let's duplicate like that, like that. Yeah, and then we're going to add a keyboard. That's a keyboard, and then we'll add a text area where they can type in there. Good. And then let's even duplicate this. Yeah, so at least it looks like a messaging app, like a messaging screen. Yes, and then now let's create one if they want to create a message. So we'll grab a new screen, place it there, call it that, or we'll call it create. Yeah, create message, send message. Of course, the send message page should be empty, so by default. So if you want to send a new message, it will be empty, and then in fact, hata here I would have duplicated this, but it's fine. Use that here. This is a text area where they can type in a new message, and then we'll add here like a place to add contacts to send. Have that, and then what is here? We can add text like who it's going to, like to. So if they tap here, it brings all the contacts, and then maybe another plus sign if you want to add the contact from your contact list. So that's there. So if you tap here, maybe it takes you now to a list of your contacts. Yeah, great, we are done. That's it. That's all we'll do. Oh, let's wireframe it now. This is where we add the wire. So if someone taps here, is taken here to this screen. Okay, and then if they tap on the plus sign, this one, they're taken to this screen. See how quick it was? Like we didn't spend time on anything. So with this one, I can even share it with my client or product manager or whoever, and tell them, is this what you are looking for? This is the idea I had in mind. So, and they'd be like, oh, this is good, but maybe we need to add this or remove this or do all those things. So it's easier when it's like this. It's easy to correct than me going all the way and designing it high fidelity, adding colors, shadows, animation, and only to be told, we don't need this bar or we don't need the list. You get, I hope you get. The good thing about Whimsical is that you can, if you're trying to do paper prototype, you can print them. If you tap here on the print, it will print these ones. So you can cut them out and go and test them with people. Or you can also add someone. You can collaborate, you can add people, and you guys can design together. So that is the end of my presentation. From now, we have exactly 18 minutes. I will now be taking your questions. So the floor is open, or not the floor, the mics are open. The mics are now open to take questions. Anyone with a question? No one? Hello?
Hello, I have a question.
Yes.
See, we can just, I think we can just use Adobe XD. Adobe XD, we can just use it instead of this whimsical.
Whimsical. Yes, you can use any platform you feel like is good for you. I just prefer Whimsical because it's easier. I also use Adobe XD. But yeah, you can use any platform you feel like. Even Figma.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? I saw a hand somewhere.
Hello, I have a question.
Yes.
Is whimsical free?
Sorry?
Is whimsical free?
Yes,
Or do
Whimsical is free. Is free. But now you're limited to 1,000 screens or 1,000 screens. So the first free tier for everyone is free. Like you have all the features, but you can only make 1,000 screens. Above that, you pay. The one I'm using is paid for, but I started with a free version, just like the way we have Figma and Adobe XD. Yeah. Next question.
Hello, hi Michael. There's somebody that said on the chat, can the designs be exported to XD or Figma?
Unfortunately, no. With Whimsical, there's no option for that. There's no option to export. You can only print them or download them, but download them as like images, PNGs. Yeah, so unfortunately, no. I think the main idea for this platform is just to create wireframe as quick as possible, like rapid prototyping. You put out the idea as fast as possible. If it's good, now you proceed to FigJam or Figma or Adobe XD. Yeah. But this is the one I use for Nino. Next question. Anyone else?
Yes, Mike, I was wondering when we are just writing down the designs, is it a must we have the design systems, for example, like for the tablet, the grid, all that colors? Is it a must we make up a design system?
Okay. Hi, Mina.
Hi.
Thanks for attending. No, it's not a must. You don't need this. You don't need all this. You don't need this. So the main purpose, the main reason of a low fidelity is to just make sure you have the idea out. Okay. We don't consider any design guide, or brand guide at this stage. Okay. That's why it's in black and white, or it's grayed out, because we're putting less focus on the aesthetic. So that's why you have something like this, like what I drew here. See, just boxes, and lines and circles. Okay, I hope that answered.
Okay, yes, and maybe I was just thinking now after we've done the low fidelity, now while making now the nice designs, one has to have a design system. Like you have your colors, you have your grid styles and all of that.
Good. That's a good question. Yes, Sasa, it depending with the company or the project you're working with, if they have a design system already, or they have a brand guide, or you now follow it. Okay, that's when now you follow everything. You follow their brand guide, their fonts, their icons, their layout. When you're going to now high fidelity, once you've proven that this is what you guys want to build, so now you move on to the next step. So I'll give you an example. This is like, let's say you're building a house and then you hire an architect. So he comes and draws for you the plan of the house or the map. So like the plan has, this is where the door will be, these are how many floors it will have, the window will face this side and all that, and of course the plan does not, if you've ever seen even the plan, the architect plan is not even colored. It's just like a skeleton of how the house will be. And then afterwards, when you approve it, is when you go now to developers, and the developers are the ones who come, and now they come with actual concrete, masonite, plumbers, electricians, and they do all that. Get so same thing with low fidelity. It's just the idea. We're not considering any design skills here. We just want to pass out the idea. And then when you're now doing the high fidelity is when now you follow your brand guide, your gridding, everything. Yes.
Okay, I've understood. Thank you.
Good. Anyone else? No one? No one? So I guess we should, let me show you one design I did, and then before there was this prototype I shared on LinkedIn. I don't know if you've seen. It's like a suit app where it auto shuffles different outfits. So this is how I started. Okay, I made the layout, how the pop-up would look like, how when you tap Evo. And then if you can see the final product, this is how the final product looks like. I don't know if you can see my full screen, but this is how now, if you see here, I've put in a bit of consideration like color, grid, all that, Evo. Even like it actually looks like the prototype. If you tap, let's say you tap, so now there's the actual hover effect like what we have here, not hover, pop-up. And then you can tap that, you can favorite like that. You can tap Evo. Okay, so but all that started from here. So any other question? I don't want to leave out anyone before we end. We have approximately 10 minutes. If none, we can finish there. I'm assuming there's none. So, Winnie, I think you can now take over. If there's anything you need to announce, we can now finish. Thank you guys for taking your time and listening and following up. Yeah, that is all.
There is somebody who has a question.
Or if you have a question, just ask.
Hi, Michael. Thank you for the session. I'm not sure there's any other question. Yeah, just some. Okay, you can type on the chat. I think Vincent has a question. Just type on the chat.
Let me check. Where's the chat? Teams is very confusing. So Vincent is saying I can't access my microphone. Okay. So sorry. His is not a question. So I don't think there's anyone else with a question. So I will mute myself.
Mm, the okay, you're typing a question. Okay, be patient. Thank you. Meanwhile, as Vincent types his question, just some free announcement. If you haven't submitted a problem statement, please do so. And also, we'll be having a mock interview tomorrow at 5 p.m. East African time. I hope I can see you guys there. As for the presentation slides, we shall share in the announcement channel tomorrow morning. I think all presentation slides, if you haven't accessed any. Yeah, as usual, you can share what you guys have learned. Yeah, either via Twitter or via LinkedIn, and I can give you a challenge. You guys can write a blog either on #Node or Medium and share. Yeah, thank you. That's it for today.